Only one word comes to my mind, and it's painful. And sometimes you get to interact with wrong people too. So yes, I ended up choosing KGMC. I struggled with it so bad. The food was not good, so I didn't want it to eat. And my attendance went down until I realized my hemoglobin was 7. I got 2 drip injections for iron, and all these things culminated me to go to psychiatry department. I feel anxious. I went there. I even consulted a doctor. I took a little meds too, big things of my life, but I didn't realize that first year of my MBBS would be the baddest of all. I was bitten by a monkey, like literally at 3 places. Took almost 11 injections, and like it's so beautiful. It's so, when I wear it, I feel like a queen. I feel like I conquered so many things in my life. And hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are doing good and be safe. So my first year is over, and when I look back at it, only one word comes to my mind, and it's painful. I know you must have seen a lot of videos and shorts showing how interesting it is, those new experiences, new people, new place. But what you don't realize is sometimes it's so tough to get settled in that new place, interacting with those new people. You don't know how they are, and sometimes you get to interact with wrong people too. And it was very tough for me to settle in a new environment overall, away from my home. Yes, I'm a home baby, you can say, but I'm not scared about to talk, to talk about these things. It's not a bed of roses always, it's a bed of thorns. And yes, I think I've experienced a lot of things in my first year, and I want to share it with you guys. So first, let's start with entering MBBS. Now, my parents live in Vadodara, Gujarat, even though I am from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. So at first, when I scored 668 marks in NEET 2021 and got a rank of 1747, I had an option to opt for Vadodara Medical College too if I wanted to stay close to my mom and dad. And I spent nights crying, thinking about if I want to go out from home or not. And I was really, fuzzled about these things. But in the end, people said it's not a justice to your rank to opt for this college. Not that it was bad, but you could go to a better college with a better ranking. So yes, I ended up choosing KGMC. And I did get Grant Medical College Mumbai from, what's that word? From All India Counseling, yes. And I did get that college, but I didn't opt for it because it was very far away from my home, either from Vadodara or Kanpur. I opted for Lucknow King George Medical College because it was close to Kanpur, and there I have most of my family there except mom and dad. So I could go there as much as I want to, and अगर मेरी तबीयत बहुत ख़राब हो जाए तो मैं जा सकती हूँ. And trust me, I was right about this. मेरी तबीयत throughout the year ख़राब रही है, and if I hadn't been close to that my home, I think it could have been more worse. So yeah, I chose KGMC and I started my journey. At first, 1 or 2 months were like homesickness. It was so bad that I used to cry every night thinking about where I am, the new room, and I don't know, I'm okay with going to any other place, but in my room I want to feel like home. And I wasn't able to engulf the thought कि अब ये मेरा घर है and I have to feel at home here. Now there are a lot of things sorry, there are a lot of things like for example those common washrooms. मेरी आदत नहीं थी, and I guess किसी की भी आदत नहीं होती common washrooms की, but yeah, I slowly adapted to it. धीरे धीरे उसमें बनने लगा था. But what happened was कि food was my main problem there, and I'm not at all scared to say this, but UG mess is not good at all. There are other messes in KGMC's campus which are so good, and we got to realize it after 6 to 7 months of being there. So yeah, now I'm all okay with food because I get good food there, but that UG mess is not at all good. For first year MBBS, there it is, and there's a ragging period of 3 to 4 months, so you are not allowed to go out, so obviously you have to eat that food for 3 months, sadly. But yes, I struggled with it, and I struggled with it so bad The food was not good, so I didn't want to eat it. I was feeling homesick, so I didn't want to eat it. I was so tensed, I lost my appetite. And seeing all those things, I just left food. I didn't used to eat my lunch, my dinner, then next day I would order something, then I would skip 2 meals. And due to this, it carried out for 1 month until I started feeling so tired, and I started skipping my classes, my labs, and my attendance went down until I realized my hemoglobin was 7. Now I got 2 drip injections for iron, and it was painful, and I still have that mark here. Like, I don't know if you can see because it's such a tricky place. Like, this whole line, I got a Vigo here, and this whole line which you see is due to the iron. Yes. So whenever I see this, I remember how bad my time was at that moment. But yes, I overcome that. Now let's come to emotional things. Everybody has a personal life, and there's something or the other going in your personal life. Now, uh, I did had some boy problems, I could say, but those were not the big things. It was these small things everywhere that culminated me to go mad. I mean, settling in a new place, not having friends, totally new people. And yes, how can I forget that? Just 15 days after my college started, I had a ligament tear in my ankle, and I had to skip college for 15 days. Now that created a communication gap with all of the students there. And when I came back, I felt so alone in that huge 250 people class. You just don't know where to sit. You're like, मैं किसके साथ जाके बैठूं? And being an extrovert, I really wanted कि मैं किसी के साथ बैठूं. I need to talk because I am not that person जो शांत बैठ सके. I really wanted to, but I just couldn't. I had few friends afterward, but they were a fail. So yeah, then now I have good friends. I have good people whom I just did a trip. But yeah, at that time it was so tough. And all these things culminated me to go to psychiatry department. Now, I was really anxious, and I am telling you these things because I know there would be a lot of people who would be feeling a lot of anxiousness when they go to college. But trust me, slowly it will fade away. It might take 1 year. It took me 1 year. But yeah, you might feel anxious. I went there. I even consulted a doctor. I took a little meds too because I was very sleepless at nights, and I wasn't feeling good at all. And my exams were coming. I was just wanting कि मैं इतनी ठीक हो जाऊँ कि I'm able to give my exams. So yeah, that's a little tough to talk about. So yeah, don't be scared of those new situations, I would say, because someday you will be able to handle it. And yes, I wasn't really feeling myself there. I always used to remember what my life was at home, my old friends. I was always missing it, always. Like, there was not even a single moment when I didn't feel I want to go back to my 11th and 12th, even though it meant preparing for NEET again. I mean, I had 2 drops. I thought after these drops, something good would come, and these drops were the only baddest things of my life. But I didn't realize that first year of my MBBS would be the baddest of all. I mean, if I'm saying this drop was better for me, then trust me, people who are taking drop know that what drop does to you. But drop felt better than this, sadly. So yeah, that was it. And I don't know, it was too bad sometimes. Those sleepless nights, always crying, always feeling lonely, not being able to settle down, always, वो बेचैनी लगना बार बार, and इतनी ज़्यादा लगना कि you start missing classes. You don't go to classes because you don't feel good there. You study in your room, but sometimes it just takes a toll on you and you start feeling more depressed and more lonely. That happened with me. So yeah, let's come to academics. Now, you must have that habit from NEET of reading one and only line, one word, everything, एक शब्द पढ़ जाना book का. But trust me, in MBBS that doesn't work, and if you start doing it, you would go mad. I mean, there are some people who study each and every line of the book. Those are the toppers of the class. But if you get overwhelmed by these big books and you have to reach each and every word, and there are 3 books, 3 subjects, you just go mad. And if you're in a good college, there's only the cream of the students that come there, and it's so tough, the competition is so tough, and sometimes you'll see this person is enjoying so much and scoring so much so well, you feel like तुम ही एकलौते यहाँ पे बुद्धू आए हो और कोई नहीं. But that's not true. Just remember, take your time. It's you. You are different from others. They are different from you. You have your own time. You have your own way, even if it meant, finding your way how you would study. I'm completing my first year, and trust me, now is the time that I've realized how should I have studied in first year. And that's okay. I've learned a lot of things, and I'll apply it in my second year, and I'm sure I'll turn out good. I'll do good. Much better than my first year. Academics are really harsh: anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. Now, anatomy is a very vast subject. It's a very vast subject, and it will kill you, like literally kill you. And in our college, anatomy has the most of the exams, tests, and everything, vivas, those parts. Now, one thing that I didn't struggle with was seeing those bodies and parts. I don't know why. Maybe because I felt my life was too depressed that it didn't even scare me. So yeah, I didn't struggle with it, but some people I think do. But you will get used to it, and trust me, you'll get used to it. We say dissection hall, DH, and that's a little informal, but they start calling it as Dil Lagi Hall because couples are there and things like that. So yeah, you would get settled in it, and some day you won't even feel those smells and those teary eyes due to formalin. It will just be a good memory after 1 year, trust me. So yeah, and in physiology and biochemistry, there's so much of information. Physiology is comparatively easy. It's like NEET. It's like your 11th, 12th only, but in more detail, and you will enjoy physiology. I personally enjoyed physiology a lot. I loved physiology. Anatomy, I feel, is totally a ratta maru subject because you have to do that ratta in order to write in exams. But those important things that you need to remember, you will, and I'll bring out a separate video on studies. But yeah, the syllabus is very vast, and it's very vast from your NEET, from your 11th, 12th. It can get a bit overwhelming, but you'll figure out. You'll cry, you'll see other people scoring and you failing. I failed my first anatomy terminal, I'm telling you, and I didn't even feel a thing failing it because I knew I wasn't able to study. And but then I realized what things I did wrong and what I need to improve. So that's okay. You will surely get your way.